Hey guys, Saf here with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and the anniversary event continues to give us more gifts or curses depending on how you want to look at these events. We have today the portal for the Soul Altar is glowing red. We haven't had an awakening boost in a few weeks, so we do have an awakening boost. What this is going to do is boost the opportunities for you to get the higher star rating on the mortal and immortal soul stones. Now this won't improve your eternal soul stones because obviously these are already very good odds for the rank and rarity. They only are going to improve the mortal and immortal soul stones. So you can see that they are doubling the 5 and 6 star on the mortal and the immortal soul stones. What they basically do is they take away from the worst rank. So effectively it used to be, I think, 1.5 and 0.75. So they're going to take the sum of that away from 1 star. And immortal soul stones here, it means you get less opportunities for getting a 3 star. Generally this pays off quite well for immortal soul stones. For mortal soul stones, it's not as significant. However, you do get more of these mortal soul stones generally. So it is a pretty good event. It doesn't get much better than this time to summon your soul stones, if I'm being honest. I don't think they're ever going to do any sort of like eternal soul stone events. Sometimes they will modify the rarity, but pretty much it's the rank you want more than anything else. You really want the rank to get to 5 and 6 star because that is where the blessings become extremely powerful. 4 star is really important from a damage perspective. 5 star from a blessing perspective. That's where you start getting things like Phantom Touch at 70% or 60% rate instead of the 30%. That's where you can get Cruelty up to 15% instead of 10%. That's where you get things like Life Harvest becomes more powerful. Temporal Chains hits that 9% marker. It becomes much more about the blessing at 5 and 6 star. 6 star obviously for things like Polymorph not requiring accuracy, Brimstone not requiring accuracy, unlocks things like Crushing Rend. 6 star is also very powerful. So we have this awakening boost going on right now, and alongside this we have a anniversary path event. Hero path as we expect. Now this one is a bit different because many would argue there isn't much of a desirable chase point on this anniversary path. There's no hero, there's no soul, there's nothing particularly exciting unless you truly love skins. If you really absolutely love this Serpent Arbiter, I think we can preview it in the portal here. If you absolutely love skins, then you know this might be the best event for you. But we have this Jade Serpent skin. Very cool looking skin, don't get me wrong, it does look awesome. A very green glowy sword. I currently have the Lumia's Prophet one active. I'm working towards the Dark Fallen from the clan shop. I don't know whether it's the best one. I do like the Lumia one, to be honest. I feel like this one looks cool, but the Jade Serpent one does have like glowy effects on the sword, so it's kind of like whatever your kind of choice is. I could see the red one being quite cool as well. But if you like skins, then this path is really good for you. If you don't, then really it's just a selection of good, what I would call premium rewards, right? Accessory oil, accessory powder, artifact oil, artifact powder, things that an end game or late game player is going to be farming. We do have some shards available to us, a 6-star mythical chaos ore. Not many of these appear in the game, but they are starting to appear more and more often. There is a book. So we're going to have a look at this path breakdown first, and then once we've done the path breakdown, we're going to be doing soul summoning. Now today I started my day with an excellent start. I've been on the mission to get Immortal Essence for about 2 weeks. I was on 58 out of 80 this morning, which I was like, it's going to take me a couple more days. I did the Sunday run, I got 0. I've been buying the 6 keys for the past 4 weeks because we had to do the 40 into the 80 for the mission for Mary. So you can see I'm very close now. And this morning we woke up to 22 essence, which was absolutely bonkers. But now the kind of the consequence of having to do that, chasing those Maris missions and kind of invest in those gems, is we do have an awful lot of mortal soul stones that we can claim. We've got about 82,000 here that we've been farming up bit by bit over the time, alongside our pre-existing like 5 immortal soul stones here and this one here. There's also another one on top of the Sand Devil turn attack if that's what you choose to do as well. So let's go do a quick path breakdown first to see how many soul stones and how many champion training it's going to be doing. This is of course champion training and summon souls. If you did the Airstrid path for her soul, I think it was her soul, it's exactly the same model. The points are the same. You either do champion training or you do summoning souls. let's have a look how much you need to do. So whenever I do these hero path event breakdowns, I always kind of try and find paths that I think players are going to want to do. Now in this one in particular, I think the obvious one is the skin. How much is it going to cost you in the cheapest path to get to the skin? There's also an opportunity to get a legendary book. I know that is a desirable thing for many players, so I always include a path to get to the legendary book. And because we have quite a lot of shards on this one, I've done a kind of like, how much does it cost to get all of the shards? It's a bit of a weird one. Some people might just want the oil. There's lots of different things you could say you absolutely only want. I've simply calculated the ones to the big ticket items, but you might just decide to pull your souls anyway and just pick up what you want because you don't really want anything. But let's just assume you wanted some of these rewards. Well, to get a hero skin, to get the Arbiter skin, it's 69,500. To get a legendary book, it's 3,500 because you have to go down the left-hand side, which is a little bit more expensive. And to get the shards, all the shards, it's about 67,000. I'll do a breakdown of the route you need to take after I've done the math breakdown to get these particular things. Now with the souls is the easier one to calculate first. The points haven't changed. It's always the same as it is. Now for the soul summoning, it is about the same as it was last time. They haven't changed the points at all. If you want to get the skin, it's going to be quite a lot. It is not cheap to do it. The idea of this path is to do training, and then you do a little bit of soul summoning. It is not like normal shard summoning, where if you summoned like sacred shards, then that's the main way to do this. This is very much an additive bonus, not the core way. Souls generally don't pay off very well for summoning unless you have a lot of eternal soul stones, and you don't really get the same level of eternal soul stones as you do with, say, sacred shards. I know a lot of people will exchange a lot of their souls in. I'm a bit of a hoarder, so I don't do that. And you can get like 1 a month from Cintrano's Soul Cross Stage 17 if you exchange those coins for the actual stone. But generally, you need 9 here, and that's 46 Immortal and 695 Mortal Soul Stones. So, you know, these Immortal and Mortal will be the stones that people will look for. And I would suggest the way to do it is Immortal. It is the cheapest if you were to buy them. Not that I'm suggesting you should, but if you were to buy them at the market value, then it would be cheaper to buy Immortal Soul Stones because they generally pay off more in terms of $1 per point breakpoint versus the Mortal. As you can see, it's only about $162. If you were to try to do it in Mortal Soul Stones, it's $695. Very expensive. And even if they do what they normally do during these events, which is sell you the double pack, you know, even if we were to halve this, it's still more, almost double the price of an Immortal. And that's not assuming we don't get cheaper Immortal Soul Stones, if that's the way you play the game, if you buy these stones up, if you're a Kraken or whatnot. So generally, you need about 46, 9, and 694. So for me, you can see like just putting souls is not going to be the answer if I want any reward. Now, if I want a legendary book, I would suggest it's still the case. 5 Eternal, 23 Immortal, 350. It's very expensive. So you're going to absolutely have to offset your champion training. The way to do this is not souls, it is to do champion training. Which leads us to the champion training requirements. If anyone has seen a Hero's Path, you've seen this big calculation that I do all the time. Now, we don't get any dungeon diver points this time. Sometimes we do. That is off the chart. As you can see, I've removed the bonus divers. We do have some options here. This time we could, if we want to, if you've purchased the Forge Pass, I personally haven't, add the Forge Pass bonus. You can use this option here to just basically recalculate your numbers. It does have some effect, but not a lot. We can see when I go up to here. Right now, we've got all the paths programmed. We're going to need to do about, 2 different types. Just to give you a quick rough reference of how I do this, a rank 2 to a rank 6 is what I call making champions, and a rank 2 to rank 5 is what I call making food. So are you actually trying to create a rank 6 champion for you to use in your account, or are you just preparing for a future requirement? That is the 2 options. Generally speaking, it's more energy efficient to make food, to do rank 2 to rank 5, because of the nature of the expense to go to a rank 6. That is the way that it generally works. You can see that you need about 3.5 million experience in order to make a rank 5. Rank 6 is 20.8. It's quite a considerable jump. Now, the way that we do this is we basically take a rank 2 to a rank 3 to a rank 4 to a rank 5, and we will partially level rank 3, rank 4, and rank 5s, and rank 6 if we were to be making champions. Rank 2 partially leveling is not worth it. It'll cost you more energy than you will gain overall. So we partially level these, and then we will feed them to make the corresponding ones. And that's the chain we do. So you can see it requires about 2.5 rank 6s. Obviously, you can't make half a champion. It's giving you a mathematical value. So you obviously would need to do basically half of another rank 6, if that makes sense. You'd need to make a few rank 5s. Or around about 13 rank 5s for the skin path, about 7 for the legendary book. Now you can add, say, the forge pass. I think maybe people have got up to like the level 19 marker by the point of this. You can see it's not actually going to have a significant impact when we put it over to the next view. So what I've built here, as always, is a calculator that you can use to basically offset your training requirements with the summoning you do. So if you're in my boat where you've got like, I think, what was mine here? 5 plus 81, so let's call it 90. I had 5 Immortal and 1 Eternal Soulstone. If I was going after the legendary book, then I would need to commit another 2,000 energy, give or take, 2,200 to get my legendary book, or if I wanted to offset it against the skin path, I'd need 9,000, right? So you use this drop down here to basically determine what path you want to go for, and then enter the shard requirements that the souls you're going to be pulling here. The quality of the soul doesn't matter. It's the stone itself that matters. This is basically effectively a soul rush event. The stone is what matters. It doesn't matter if you get a 6-star legendary. It's not a chase event. Now, if you do go to a Nightmare 12/6, that will save you a little bit of energy over time, especially the larger the amount of points you need. But keep in mind, if you do Nightmare, you don't get mystery shards. You might run out of champions to actually, upgrade. You might run out of rank 2s. That's what I found when I did the Alatrian path. If we were to add a forge pass up to level 19, well, you can see that it would reduce my energy requirements by about 200 there, right? It was 2,259. It's taken about 200 off. So it does have an impact due to the nature of the way it backfills a lot of the XP gains. Unless you actually buy up the points in advance, like you're not going to probably get the bonus of like level 41 until after the path event. So you can use this to set what level you get to for your own requirements. I'm not going to be buying this forge pass because I don't particularly think Instinct is a very good set at all, so I won't be buying it. So if I wanted to do this, I would be looking at 2,200 for the legendary book, or if I wanted to go for the skin, another 9,000 worth of training, which I'll be honest is still quite a lot for a champion skin. Not a champion soul, not a champion, a skin only. It's a large investment. I know you'll get extra rewards on the way, like a Sacred Shard and not, but it's quite an expensive thing. So I will put this in the pinned comment of this video, as I always do, so you can make a copy of it. It'll be a Google Sheet, so just make a copy, and you can use this if you want to just like keep a track of how much you want to do. There is an option here as well if you want to buy just the coins up front. You can say like put 7,500 here, so I can see how much more that would take off if you want to just buy the stones, because they obviously sell a pack normally for sort of the points that you need. So how do you get to the various different paths? Well, you have a left and a right hand side start. The left hand side is pretty much focused around accessory ascension. The right hand side is more artifact ascension. So that's your first choice. Do I want more artifact? Do I want more accessory? Really depends. I would suggest that maybe because of the nature of the volume, I always recommend artifacts are better, because you have twice the amount of artifacts to ascend versus the accessories. 6 slots versus 3 slots. So you always need more artifact oil than you need accessory oil, generally speaking. If you want the artifact oil, I would prefer to go down the energy route. Some people might prefer the rank and rarity charms. I think the energy is just going to be more useful. And then you get to your first point. Everyone starts with 1 key. So if you only want one side of the shards, you absolutely can just take that. So you don't have to go get the extra key if you don't. If you don't want the shards, you basically go down the middle bit. Now, I will say it is slightly cheaper to go the right-hand side here if you want to be able to get there. You could probably make it, I think maybe I've overcooked the points a little bit. Maybe I could take out an extra like 3,000 points because I've assumed you want to go down the middle path just because the reward is a little bit better, but maybe the points are not worth it, right? If you think this is 9,000 points, this is going to be 11,000 points. It's very small difference. If you value ascension, then I would definitely say skip the shard and go for this middle path here. But essentially, you'll start silver, energy, oil, or book when you first start out because you always have a key. Then you want to go chaos powder, sacred shard, skin. That is the path. It's very straightforward, straight down. Now, if you want the legendary book, you're going to start on the left-hand side. You're going to go silver, gems, epic book, primal shards, legendary chaos ore, or mythical chaos ore, then legendary book. The legendary book costs more because it's behind a mythical Chaos Ore, which costs a lot more than usual. Normally they would put like a legendary Chaos Ore, which would bring the overall cost of a legendary book down. So with that said, that is the path breakdown. I don't necessarily think you would want to go for the path, but because this is the best time to summon Soul Stones, you might just summon Soul Stones anyway and get some few extra rewards. I think only the people that really love skins will go pretty hard for that path. Otherwise, it's just not worth your time and effort, in my opinion. But you should absolutely summon right now. I don't think this is like a worse time to summon these souls in terms of just like the efficiency. Awakening boosts are the best times. Like a ×2 sacred is not really much better chance to do it. But there you go, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.